Turn me up, Ophi. Welcome to the Aim High, Push Hard podcast, where we aim high, then persist until something happens. For heroes are really driven. Aim high, push hard. Divine ingenuity. On today's podcast, we will be discussing crackheads. As you all are aware, the former crackhead, and today he's also a remaining crackhead, is in a vegetable state. In medicine, we are taught to have empathy for patients, not sympathy. So I don't feel sorry for no crackhead. The crackhead I'm talking about is Earl Simmons, DMX, the guy who grew up with a mother who neglected him and called him names, verbally abused him. So his best friend was his dog. Shit, my mother verbally abused me too. My best friend was my Sig Sawyer. I didn't turn into a crackhead. I turned into a physician assistant, valedictorian, 10 times over. Let me tell you all something, guys. When people get addicted to drugs, they are men and women who have become ill at their core. A torn soul who use drugs to anesthetize their sorrows. When people attempt to destroy themselves, even if unconsciously, they have a hand grip on a knife. Make no mistake, self-injury is a statement regarding one's own worth or its glaring lack of thereof. And guess what, DMX? You had plenty of chances to turn a new leaf. But in life, the last card you turned over is the only one that matters. And you turned over a crackhead card, broski. Let me give you guys a little background information as to what happened. DMX, who is a rapper and was the cornerstone of the Rough Riders label, has battled substance abuse and has been to rehab several times, numerous times, an innumerate amount of times in his life. His last rehab stint back in 2019 came after he completed a 12-month sentence for tax evasion. There are only two things that I fear in life, guys. That is the IRS and the FBI. Please, neither one of you guys show up at my front door, or it is death till life does us apart. At the time, we were told DMX hadn't relapsed. That's a damn lie. Boy, when you see somebody shaking and jittering and moving like they're under mental agitation, and you keep seeing them wringing their hands and the way he talks, oh, hey, yo, dog. Hey, yo, dog. Hey, hey. You got to be the power of the dog. Hey, hey. The dog don't play that. Hey, 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 hey. He has some sort of mental problem. At the time, we were told DMX hadn't relapsed, but checked himself into rehab out of fear he might again, as he felt temptations to use creep up on him again. Let me tell you something, guys. There is no level of rehabilitation that's going to get you off of drugs in the United States. I keep telling you guys, pharmaceutical company and healthcare is $1 billion business. What we do, let me let you guys in on a little secret. What we do as medical practitioners is trade you from one drug on to another. We don't rehab you. Because when we rehab you, we lose a customer. It's Western medicine, guys. Western medicine's mission is not to heal. It's not to cure. It's to treat the ailment just enough to put a Band-Aid on it that you keep coming back. So what we do when you guys are addicted to heroin is we give you Suboxone, which helps to dissipate the opioid receptors from the part of the brain that controls dopamine in the basal ganglia. But we don't want to dissipate all the opioids. We want you coming back. We don't want you to go to the dope fiend, to the dope seller on the corner. We want you to come to us. That is why we open our methadone and Suboxone clinics at 5 a.m. in the morning, because we know the heroin dealers wake up at 6 a.m. So we want you to come to us for the methadone and the Suboxone before you get to them. And guess what? We give you methadone and Suboxone free of charge. Do we care that drug abuse and mental illness goes hands in hand? Hell fucking no, because there's no money in treating a psychiatric homeless mental patient. But there is money in selling drugs, or in this state, writing drugs to a psychiatric homeless person. The pharmaceutical company, therefore, manufactures more drugs. We give out more drugs, and then we get kickbacks from the government. That's how medicine works, guys. I'm sorry to give you the cold, hard truth, but that's what I do here. I won't, I will not, I have not, and I never will not give an honest appraisal of my beliefs. DMX made his return to the stage following rehab in December 2019 when he hit Hawkinsaw in Las Vegas. He was chatting it up, taking photos with fans before he hit the stage. I wonder if he had his 23 kids with him. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Shade. I just threw the shade and a tree. That boy got 23 kids by 19 baby mamas. I guess that song when he said, I had what these bitches want from a nigga, what you want. There was Keisha, LaShawn, Sabrina, Sadina, and Monica, and Lewinsky, and Tasha, and Kiss. I thought that was a song. I ain't know that boy was busting nuts all in all them damn women, and then couldn't even have the money to pay child support. Boy, was the drugs that good? I guarantee you guys, DMX got hit with that fent. See, DMX was doing drugs back in the 80s and the 90s, where it was pure cocaine. It was pure heroin. Now, we hitting that thing with that fent. We hitting that thing with that Sudafed. We hitting that thing with that mannitol. We hitting that thing with that ether. We gonna spray it with a little talcum powder so that thing could be shiny. Or we hitting you with that asbestos. This ain't drugs today, baby boy. Baby boy, when you do drugs today, you gonna touch the moon all right, but your ass gonna stay up at that motherfucking moon. You ain't coming back down. You better get you a Simmons reagent test kit and look for that methadone inside there, that bath salt. When you take them that heroin these days, you're gonna be sitting on your kitchen floor like this, making these ugly ass faces, thinking that you high. I don't remember feeling this way. You're gonna be itching, scratching like Smokey on Friday in a pigeon coop. So let's proceed, guys. During the Vegas show, he took a moment to tell fans, when you fall down, get back up. Everyone here has been through some shit, and you never know what God is willing to do for you until you need him to do something for you. Now, DMX is a prime example of, as soon as I pray to God, I have to go and get what I prayed for. Go and do what I prayed for. See, DMX is a prime example of misled urban African American people. Or not even urban, just African American people, period. Once we were given religion during the Jim Crow days, slavery days, we pray so much that we think prayer is going to heal everything. You know, I'm on drugs. I'm a crackhead. I'm going to just pray on it. But while I'm praying, let me go to the dope man on the corner and see if he can give me a $20 dub rock for $10. And let me go to the corner store and get one of them little small glass vials. You know, the one that they put the rose in. You take the rose out. You put the crack in the end of the tip. You get you a lighter. You light on it. You put that glass dick in your mouth and you suck on that glass dick like G Money in that movie, New Jack City. You see what happened to G Money? He let $1 million a week organization called the Carter get infiltrated over a hoe. G Money let the girl in the movie New Jack City, G Money let the girl that Nino Brown was sticking dick in infiltrate the Carter. Now, G Money was getting girls. Do you think G Money would have did that had he not been sucking on that glass dick? Now, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something about that crack, that cocaine. When you first smoke that bass, that free bass, oh, you feel so euphoric. Oh, you feel like the world is just fuzzy. Your body starts to feel tingly. Oh, you feel like you're at one with yourself. You feel like a mystical creature has just taken hold of your body. Oh, you feel so great, but the high doesn't last long, maybe 10 to 20 minutes maybe. Then you gotta go and get another hit. Then you get another, then you get another, then you get another. Then you start to feel dysphoric. You start to feel paranoia. You start to hallucinate, visual hallucinations. You start to have auditory hallucinations where you think that you're hearing things. You start to have auditory hallucinations where you feel like things are crawling all over you. Then you start to get delusional and you think that the FBI is chasing you. You think that Barack Obama from the White House is talking to you when you're watching the television. You start having delusions of grandiose. You start to think that you're super fucking human. No, that's the crack. It doesn't agree with your body. That's the heroin that you're putting in your body. It doesn't agree with you. But what do you usually have, guys? You have these professional drug users. You know what a professional drug user is? I call him a future ass nigga. You know the rapper Future? He's a future type nigga without the money. A professional drug dealer does this here. I wake up in the morning, I'm hit the cocaine, I'm hit the crack rock. So the crack rock gonna get me up. Whoop, I'm up now. And then I'm gonna chase it back with the Jack Daniels. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Man, the day is good. It's 9 a.m. in the morning. Boy, I ain't even hit 12 yet. Oh, I'm feeling good. I got that crack cocaine up in me. I got a couple of shots of that Jack D up in me. Ooh, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling nice. I want to be social. I'm socializing. Then you say, oh shit, I'm a little too high. I've overshot my therapeutic window. Now I need something to bring me back down. This is around nighttime, 9 o'clock. You know, you've been high all day. You know, when you get high, you don't just get high once. You want to get high all day long, you know, because that come down is a bitch. Have you ever came down off drugs? That come down feels like death. That come down where you have that serotonin syndrome. You're just sweating. You're just wringing your fingers. Your heart is racing. You don't feel calm. You don't feel like yourself. You feel agitated. Come down is a bitch, so you stay high all day. Now it comes nighttime. You want to go to sleep. You're going to go snort that heroin. You're going to go do a 2 and 2. Because, you know, novice drug users do a 1 and 1. If you don't know what a 1 and 1 is, a 1 and 1 is when you snort half the bag of heroin in one nostril, and then you snort the other half in the other nostril. But now, professional drug dealers do 2 and 2s. You're going to snort the whole bag in your right nostril. You're going to make sure it hits that Castlebeck's triangle. That's the posterior nares, if you don't know what I'm talking about. Castlebeck's triangle is usually what starts bleeding when you have a nosebleed that exsanguinates and doesn't stop. Then you take that left nostril. You get you a whole nother bag of heroin now. We call it Billy's. You get a whole nother bag of heroin. That's a 2 and 2. Because a 1 on 1, you would have snorted half of the first bag and then the other half of the first bag. A 2 and 2, you get 2 bags and you snort both of them, 1 in each nostril. You do that to bring you down. But guess what you done did now, fellas? You done overshot. Now you down too low. Now you got to do the cocaine to get back up. But that ain't what these 2021 drug dealers is doing. Because ain't no rules to the game no more. These young niggas, they spiking that thing with that fent. If you don't know what that fent is, we talking fentanyl, death, horse tranquilizer. All you need is a 0.1 of that fent it'll drop that blood pressure so low, your ass won't know what hit you. But you know these drug dealers in the streets, they're not chemists. They putting too much fent inside the bag. But as you know, with dope users and heroin users, when they see someone else do drugs, whether injection, whether inhalation, whether smoking or snorting, and that person reaches death or almost death, they're like, I want that shit right there. I want that shit right there. So it causes the drug dealer to say, oh, you don't want the shit that just get him high. You want the shit that kill a nigga. That's why, if you notice in the streets, most heroin comes with names like DOA, death on arrival. So when a person walks past you, say, I got that death on arrival. I got that TKO. TKO is called technical knockout. I got that do or die. You know, everything is associated with death because drug abusers feel like the closer you get to death, the better the drug is. How do I know all this? I read it in a book. Wink, wink. The last time we saw DMX perform was in July 2020 when DMX faced off with Snoop Dogg in a versus battle. And DMX had some weight on him. I said, oh, DMX look like he eating. He has some weight on him. He look good. He has some weight on him. You know, most crackheads don't eat because they forget to eat because they sucking on that glass dick all damn day. They ain't thinking about no food. They thinking about that glass dick. It had 500,000 viewers tune in, proving he still had an incredible ability to bring an audience. Now, my personal opinion, I did watch that versus battle for every bit of 2 minutes, but what I saw was two geriatric people who were way past their prime. Snoop Dogg looked like he had rheumatoid arthritis, and DMX looked like he had polyarteritis nodosa. And he looked like he had cirrhosis of the liver, but that's neither here nor there. So, guys, what I'm trying to tell you is DMX is in grave condition. He knew what he was doing. He's been doing drugs since he was a teen. You know, DMX had a bad break in life. He started rapping. He paid more attention to the rap than he did to his contract. He let other people take advantage of his contract. DMX could have been the who Jay-Z is now. You know, he had talent, but he didn't have the brains to go with the talent. And when I say brains to go with the talent, you have to teach yourself, guys. No one is going to mystically come down from the clouds and grab your hand and say, hey, young man, you're a rapper. Let me teach you the ropes. That's just not how life is. You have to get out there and learn things for yourself. And maybe, just maybe, someone will see the ambition in you and they will be willing to assimilate some level of clarity about the business that you're embarking on so that you can have some sort of inclination about what you're getting into as far as taxes. Because, I mean, who wants to go to jail for tax evasion? I mean, that's the worst thing you can go to jail from coming up out the streets. Tax evasion? You inside a cell with 23 killers, murderers, gangbangers. You done rode around with the pistol on your hip. 6 Sawyer, M18, P328, 20 in a clip, head one, with the optic laser sight on that thing. Come on now, you know what I keep on me. And you inside jail and somebody says, what you in here for? Man, they got me for tax evasion. Tax evasion? The fuck? But hey, guys, you can't blame school for not teaching you tax evasion or not teaching you how to do your taxes. I mean, shit, H&R Block is right down the street. But you know why most people get tax evasion? Because we greedy. Because we greedy. We want to spend all the money and forget about our mother's brother. Yeah, your mama brother. You remember? Sam, Uncle Sam. He need his cut. He want his 30%. So you might as well take out of every $10 that I make, you know what I do? I take $3 out and I just put it to the side off top. Now with the $7 that I have left, I save $5 for myself. I put that in the bank and I spend $2. That's what I do. Let me put it in another way for you percentage intellectual men and women. I have 100% of pay after my 2 weeks of working in the hospital and the clinic. Out of my 100%, I know because I'm in a $100,000 to $150,000 tax bracket, sometimes $180 if I work really, really hard, Uncle Sam gonna hit me for $30. We talking federal plus state. So what I do is I take out a cool 40 to 50K out that thing. Because you know they might hit me with some extras. So I take 40, 50K out. Okay? Usually I would take 30, but you never know. Uncle Sam might show up with that bullshit talking about, man, you ain't got no kids. Man, you ain't married. Man, you don't own it. So you don't need all this money. We need to take some of that back. That's why I put most of my money in a Roth IRA and a 401k, and I let it accrue interest. But that's for another conversation. So I take out that 50 off the rip. Now, out of my 50 that's left, I save 40 in my bank account, and I stay low key but flex occasionally with that 10%. That's why you might see me on the streets wearing Izod. That's why you might see me on the streets wearing Skechers. I said that's why you might see my drawers used to be Polo, but now my drawers say Kirkland. Oh, once Uncle Sam started talking about tax evasion, 2-3 years. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. When I go to jail, it's like a hotel. I don't plan on living here. I'm just spending the night. The hell I look like going to jail for 4 years for tax evasion? Tax evasion? The fuck? So let me tell you about DMX 50-year-old ass. He's so old enough he need to be getting his prostate checked. Yet this nigga in a smoke-filled apartment sucking on that glass dick. DMX was one of my favorite rappers. They say he has some brain activity, but we all know once you're in a vegetative state at age 50, and it wasn't like he was vegan. It wasn't like he was running every day. It wasn't like he was living a healthy lifestyle. Boy, this nigga been smoking crack since he was age 14. That nigga skipped weed and went straight to crack cocaine. Just like you young kids right now, you pill popping junkies. It ain't no hope for the future because you youth are drug addicts and you're proud to be junkies. All them pills. Stop coming to my clinic asking me for Perk 30. Stop coming to my clinic asking me for Suboxone. You too young. You 16 years old. You ready for the popping of Perk 30 already? Goddamn, boy. What you gonna do when you come back and I say no? You're drug escalating. I can't write you no more Perk 30. You know what you gonna do? You gonna go right to the corner to the same person DMX was buying his drugs from, and you gonna buy them lace, that fentanyl lace heroin, and you gonna snort it, and your ass gonna be in a vegetative state too. Shit, me. Everybody always talking about the government is trying to kill us with the food. The government don't want to test the food for corona. The FDA is trying to kill us with the coronavirus. Vaccine. No, nigga, you killing yourself. Because the substances that you're putting into your body doesn't agree with your body. So you itching, you scratching, you liquor-hooing, you're rubbernecking, and you telling yourself, I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's up with me. It's the drugs. It's the drugs. It don't agree with your body. You know what it is. Everybody see you around here with your eyes poked out your face. Everybody see you out here with your lips all ashy. You talking about Don't trip her, man. I'ma go from ashy to classy. It just ain't my time yet. It ain't never gonna be your time. Crack fiend, junkie. You know what I'm gonna start doing now? When I pull up on the block, I'm gonna ball up a small piece of paper. And when I ride past you in my pretty ass Benz, I'm gonna throw that piece of paper outside my car. And I'm gonna let it land right in front of your feet. And I bet you reach for it thinking it's a crack rock. DMX said when he was in Yonkers, this guy, Reddy Ron, he was like an older brother to DMX. DMX told fellow hip-hop star Talib Kweli on his People's Party podcast he would rap and I would do the beatbox, DMX said. I love this guy like an older brother. DMX went on to further state one night after the duo did a robbery. You know, they pulled the lick move. That's what they call it, a robbery. They call it a lick. I don't respect robbers, by the way. I got my money straight up. Even though a hustler's a pig that don't fly straight, a robber deserves to die. Because that means you'll rather take from somebody else because you can't work the hustle by yourself. But everybody has their own indiscretions. Everybody will be judged by the Lord, not by me. That's just my opinion. DMX said one night after the duo did a robbery, one night, it was his birthday, and we came back and split the money. I said, here you go. Go get something nice for your birthday. So he came back with a blunt rolled up, and I'm counting the money. He passed the blunt. Guys, I already know what's about to happen. DMX and hit another nigga blunt, and it was laced with that woo-woo. It was laced with that water. It was laced with that PCP. It was laced with that Illy Momo. It was laced with that Lobo. It was laced with that butt naked. You never hit another nigga blunt, and you never drink out another nigga cup. If you have been told when you go to the bar and you go to the bathroom, you put a napkin over your cup. First of all, I don't even play those types of games. When I'm at the bar and I'm about to go to the restroom, I don't put no napkin over my cup. Man, I take my cup with me. I take my cup with me to the restroom. Because you don't know what the hell somebody going to put inside that cup. First of all, and you know what? Sometimes you can't take that cup with you in the restroom because it's all sorts of germs floating around inside there. I tell the bartender, man, throw that shit away, man. I'll come back and buy me another cup. Let's proceed with the story. DMX holding back tears, he continued. I hit the blunt, and I was no longer focused on the money. Boys, to me, the way it looked like your career went, you was never focused on the money. Boy, you had movies, you had music, you did a show with Aaliyah. I mean, boy, you had talent, but it looked like you was never focused on the money because the drugs had a control of you. Drugs, America, drugs, they might ruin you, oh. Why do we consume drugs so much in this country? America is the number one nation when it comes to doing drugs. They abuse them. And you see the drugs emanating from the skin, permeating from the skin, drugs in the liver, drugs in the kidney. You see that creatinine clearance is so high. You see that the glomerular filtration rate is so high, they don't drink any water. They just do drugs. And then they come into the hospital and say, doctor, I don't know. They lie to you. They say they have no drug history. And when you do a drug panel, you see every drug known to man inside there. And they want you to save them within a day. Hey, Mogbo. Me, I tell them straight up. Please, sir, how would you like to die? Because your kidneys have failed. Your liver has failed. And for you to get a liver transplant or a kidney transplant, we're going to have to put you on a list. And it's a long list of people already on there who have never done drugs. Who do you think we're going to give the kidney and the liver transplant to, them or you first? Let's proceed with the story. Holding back tears, he continued. I hit the blunt, and I was no longer focused on the money. I've never felt like this. It just fucked me up. I later found out that he laced the blunt with crack. That's called the woody woo woo. I don't know why you would trust somebody you just went on a robbery with anyway. Haven't you ever heard there no honesty amongst thieves, DMX? Let's proceed. DMX said, Why would you do that to a child? Why? Why would you do that to me? He knew I looked up to him. Why would you do that to somebody who looks up to you? A monster was born. He created a monster in me. I wouldn't do that to my worst enemy. Especially to someone that you supposedly love. DMX, shut your bitch ass up. Kendrick Lamar said the first blunt he hit was laced with PCP, and he started foaming at the mouth. He never did drugs again. Your ass hit a blunt laced with crack cocaine at 14 years old. Now you're 50 years old. I'm not real good at math, but it seemed like, boy, you love that thing. It seemed like that thing spoke to you, didn't it? That thing spoke to your spirit. Because Kendrick Lamar didn't keep smoking PCP lace blunts. He said, after that first time, I said, shit, I don't want to smoke no more. I don't care if it's my blunt, your blunt, God's blunt. Jesus Christ could come down with a blunt and give it to Kendrick Lamar. He going to say, nah, I'm good. So DMX, boy. DMX said, the person that I loved was a snake. Oh, he wasn't a snake when y'all committed that lick together. A rep for DMX could not immediately be reached for comment. This said, yes, that's because the rep for DMX is probably in the smoke-filled room smoking crack cocaine too. Okay, guys, thanks for listening to this story about DMX. DMX is in a vegetative state. There's a little small minimal amount of blood flowing to the brain, but even if he makes it, he's going to be a paraplegic. But we wish him well. We definitely wish him well. And hopefully when he makes it out this time, he doesn't go back to smoking crack cocaine. Bye.